The missing Indian Creek alcalde found safe. He told police he was kidnapped, but by whom? Tonight, more questions than answers. But you'll hear from the village chairman who was held as a suspect in his disappearance. And the family's desperate search for a 16-year-old after his friend was found murdered. We'll talk to Alwyn Marin's mother. Also, Chick-Hit, it's what's for tea, dinner, tea in Belize. But how does it get from the poultry plant to your plate? We'll take you inside Quality Poultry's operation. Plus, breaking point for Belize's bus operators. The association says it just can't continue like this and threatens an April 20th shutdown. We'll talk to the president. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscasts for tonight, Wednesday, April 15th, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Crank.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
At Cellular World, we believe technology shouldn't just be functional. It should make your home uniquely yours. Design your smart home with the full range of Samsung appliances and TVs. Equip your kitchen with smart and stylish fridges, advanced microwaves, and whisper-quiet dishwashers, bringing smart living to the heart of your home. Make daily tasks simple with efficient smart washers, powerful dryers, or an all-in-one laundry hub that adapts to your lifestyle. Experience true-to-life colors and spot-on sound with the Samsung Q LED Smart TV. Connect all your spaces instantly with the Smart Thing app for seamless control wherever you go. Get all your Samsung products today with the peace of mind that only the 1-year warranty from the authorized distributor can give you. So stop by your favorite location and start designing your smart home today, only at Cellular World.
2026 marks a major milestone in the history of Belize's healthcare sector. The 25th anniversary of the National Health Insurance (NHI) program and the long-awaited national rollout of NHI services to the Cayo district, finally fulfilling a dream of primary healthcare coverage for all Belizeans. What started as an idea in 1998 became a reality in 2001 and has served thousands of Belizeans over the last 2.5 decades by providing access to quality health care, now in every corner of Belize.
One of the central pillars of NHI is access to quality health care.
All Belizeans will have access to quality hospital services through a national health insurance system.
It's a milestone that the whole country and all of the people of Belize, anyone who has a social security card, it's minimal out-of-pocket expenses, it's high-quality primary care. It allows almost all the population then to have the same level of health care wherever you are.
In 1998, the then Honorable Said Musa convened a group of us to work on the manifesto, and then a group of people in the medical field, and started brainstorming of how we could better health care for Belizeans.
The beginning can be traced to a study done by Cambridge Consultancy, where they produced a document on how to improve healthcare in Belize. One of the features of that study was the proposal that we have national health insurance.
As a matter of urgency, we will radically transform Belize's health system to ensure equitable access to quality health services.
It took a lot of courage to implement and begin the NHI. Prime Minister Musa made the bold decision to implement it.
So with a clear plan and vision for the future of Belize's healthcare sector, the NHI program was launched in Belize City's south side as a pilot project on August 9, 2001.
For the next 6 months, the 37,000 residents living on the south side of the Belize district will be able to receive free health care.
Prime Minister Said Musa, who cut the ribbon at today's opening, remains firmly committed to NHI.
It will involve, as you no doubt have heard, the participation of 4 primary care facilities, 3 eye care centers, 5 pharmacies, laboratories, and 3 imaging centers in a new partnership between the public and private sector health providers.
You can walk into a primary care provider clinic. You can seek a consultation with a general practitioner. If in the event that you need a prescription, they will give you a prescription, and then you have a choice of 5 pharmacies where you can get that medication prescribed free of charge.
And though the NHI embarked on a journey to transform the country's health sector, it was met with its fair share of challenges.
It was a new concept.
It was a new idea, a very, very new concept. It was difficult. We met resistance from everybody. It was a up and down situation for many years until we finally convinced the Prime Minister at the time we needed to do a pilot project to see how it would function. We got consultants and we started the pilot project in the south side of Belize City.
Despite any prior reservations, in the 25 years that have followed, NHI has grown from a pilot project focusing on the south side of Belize City to a national health plan felt as far and wide as Pachacan in the north and as deep south as Dolores in the Toledo district. Today, NHI provides invaluable primary health care to some of Belize's most vulnerable members of society. And as it commemorates 25 years of service and a full national expansion, NHI is ready to move into the next phase of service to the Belizean people, with over 225,000 residents currently registered to the program and expectations for that number to reach over 300,000 after full national coverage.
We have 80,000 people with valid Social Security cards in the Cayo district. So we expect them to be the ones that will come to register for NHI.
Under this current administration, the NHI program has reached new heights, especially with financing from the proceeds of the sale of Toledo to the Belize Government Lotteries Limited. And with no plans to slow down anytime soon, the sky is the limit for NHI as it endeavors to serve Belize for another 25 years and beyond.
The expansion at 25 years is awesome. It marks a milestone. I believe it's going to be a legacy of the PPP government in their effort and their endeavor to give quality care, access to care, and ensure that the people of Belize have what they deserve in terms of medical care.
Well, it's a milestone that the NHI is celebrating 25 years this year, 2026. Now that we have achieved this so far, I would want, or my vision would be that the same applies to secondary health care, that it be extended into the hospital services countrywide. And I hope it doesn't take another 25 years for that to happen.
The role of the Social Security system will be expanded to increase its contributions with the establishment of a national health insurance program.
I think NHI is forever. It's not gonna go. It might change. It should change. Our communities change, so the way we serve them has to change. But the concept of NHI, the concept of having universal coverage of primary health care for our Belizean people is here to stay.
NHI, an enabler of quality health and wellness for all.
Belize is leveling up. We're moving from a bunch of IDs in endless forms to one secure, smart way to prove who you are. The National ID will give you your own unique number, a protected population register, and faster verification, so things actually get done quicker. It's built with privacy, transparency, and inclusion because this system is for everyone. Have something to say? Join the public consultation.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
I didn't know anything about honey or bees. I was really awed when I opened the hive box and I saw there was just not bees. There is wax, there is propolis, there is pollen, there is the entire education of what is going on inside the hive. And I was like, how come nobody in Belize have ever done this before?
The farm produces 75% of what we consume. We were introduced to instant coffee. So we're growing our own food, but we're drinking instant coffee. So I said, it's time to introduce our own coffee as part of our food security.
My brother, he used to work at a butterfly farm, and he was in charge of breeding them. One day, when he was in the butterfly cage, he saw that they die naturally, and they still look beautiful. And that is when he got the idea to make the butterfly art collages.
I used to do cakes from home. I started just giving them away, but I needed to buy my stuff back, and I started selling them. So that's what started it, and I used Facebook as my means of advertisement and started getting customers.
I've always been fascinated with gemstones. It's been something that I've been collecting for more than a decade. It's just the fascination of how they come out from the earth, just different minerals and elements that combine. They just form these beautiful colors, and it's so fascinating.
Nokche Adventure Park came about from the birth of COVID. Everything was shut down in the tourism industry, and we decided, I want to do something to help the community. We got 10 bikes, 10 ATVs, and we were just doing just ATV tours at that time. Shortly after, we were approached by the cruise lines. We agreed to work with them, and from then it just started growing.
The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. My husband is a woodworker. He attended the meeting. He was given a space here, and that's how basically I got involved in the business.
To me, Atlantic Bank was the best partner for us to team up with.
Having access to financing, change of business in productivity.
Once I had Atlantic Bank support with the finances, it was smooth sailing from there.
They saw the vision and they were willing to be patient.
Atlantic Bank's e-commerce system has accelerated the growth for my business.
Now I can make payments and receive payments online, and this has made my job much easier.
I don't have to run to town and use fuel and the other expenses.
They were willing to be patient with us as we grew our business, and that meant the world.
I sit and sip my good cup of coffee and do payments.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tonight, Belize's independent bus operators say they are hanging by a thread, and if things don't improve quickly, they could be forced to cease operations next Monday, April 20th. This afternoon, the Belize Bus Association, that is, put out a dire warning in a press release saying they are facing an urgent and critical situation. The release says, quote, "The situation has reached a breaking point. The recent sharp increase in fuel prices has pushed operating costs to a level that is no longer manageable. This is not economically sustainable. It is no longer financially possible for operators to continue under current conditions. Therefore, the BBA regrets to inform the public that unless this matter is urgently addressed, BBA members will have no choice but to discontinue bus services starting Monday, April 20th of 2026. So this is the difficult position that the 16 bus lines, which are not part of the National Bus Company, find themselves in. A short while ago, we spoke to the President, Philip Jones, by Zoom.
We wrote the minister. Previously, we had a meeting. We had a couple of meetings asking for assistance. And we wrote 3 assistants, one being that the assist in removing the tax from the fuel, tire and parts, being the first. The second being assistant with the subsidy that in the time of COVID, what they did, they assist us with a subsidy. And then the third one was to increase the fare. However, the private bus operators felt that the Minister of Transport response was very callous and cold-hearted in his response, that he didn't even ask to have a sit down with them to tell them in person that, well, X, Y, Z, we can't. And just in a letter stating that, well, you need to hold on until when things get back to normal, right? The bus operator in a position now that they're losing money every day and they're going bankrupt. And this is an industry whereby that it's not a high profit business, but it gives you just a sustain to pay your bills and to pay your workers and run on fumes. The operators, this is the last thing they want to do. No one wants to go on strike or don't provide the service, but they're in a position that they won't be able to continue to provide the service for the simple fact that the fuel is too high and they are not making money to sustain the operation. So they're hoping that good conscience can prevail and the Minister of Transport, which he rightly said is his department, can assist in some way or one out of the 3 assistant requesting.
And the BBA is saying that the ministry has until the end of the week to come to the table of discussion, or on Monday the runs operated by their 16 bus lines will be discontinued until further notice. That will cause approximately 10,000 passengers to be without means to get to work and school. Again, a dire prognostication. And we asked Jones about it.
The minister said on Conkman's interview, well, they should have joined the NBC. But I can tell you, from what I'm seeing, the NBC is going on a downward trajectory. So they are in no better shape than us, even with the economy at scale, because they are cutting runs. They're renting bus from other operators to fulfill their schedule. They're sourcing mechanics and service personnel. When the operators that are not part of the NBC, they do their own maintenance, their own servicing. They minimize the pilferage because they are the conductor, they are the driver, they are the mechanic. They do everything, wash everything. They don't have members or advisor or CEO earning large salary, and that's a recipe for disaster.
And how much time are you giving the government to give you guys a response or to invite you to the table of discussion, if that table still exists?
Well, the members made it very clear. I'm only the messenger, right? I'm only the messenger. If there is no serious conversation or discussion, they say they won't be able to run Monday coming. They won't be able to continue to provide service.
And would you all have an estimated number of how many individuals would be impacted on that, especially from in the morning time run specifically?
In the north alone, we move over 10,000 commuters a day in just the highway runs. We're not talking about the village. We're just talking about the highway, about over 10,000 commuters.
And while the independent bus operators say their backs are against the wall, the government-run national bus company has not even passed its probationary period, and videos are surfacing from mechanic yards where an excessive amount of buses are parked and in need of repairs, mostly NBC buses. With runs being cut and passengers becoming increasingly agitated, this is not a good sign for the nascent public-private partnership. Jones said that some members are already expressing their frustrations to him.
Those are videos sent by some of the personnel from the company because they are still saying that they are not being paid their severance, they are not being paid their vacation pay, they are not being paid time of service. So there is no, as what we have understood, that there's no mechanic in any district working. So hence the reason why they have to outsource their servicing of equipment. And what they're saying that those are the buses that were purchased. And hence the reason why runs are being cut on a daily basis. Accident is being happening because workers' morale is at a high, all-time low. Some of the workers say, well, man, well, the way the NBC management and the minister speak that everything would have been golden, but quite the contrary, right? So
And so
the
are
morale,
those buses that need to be fixed?
of course, and that's just what was shared by the members that shared to me, and I know these buses were running. I don't know what happened, but it just goes to show this is not an easy industry, and you need people, technical people that knows the intricacy of the day-to-day operation. It's a very challenging one. Many people would say, well, why do you still stay in the business, or why the operators never do something else? Majority of the operators, they are farmers that are in the industry. And many of them, if not all, hold on to say, okay, then a Messiah is coming to save the industry and save us, and things will get better. But they feel quite the contrary.
We'll keep following the story. Turning now to other news, after over 24 hours of being missing, Indian Creek's alcalde Marcus Canty was found alive this morning. The extent of his injuries is unknown. However, he has reportedly been taken for medical care in Belmopan. According to a police report, Canty said that he was abducted by two men who took him into the bushes and tied him up. They then released him on the outskirts of the village early this morning. Police got a call at 3 a.m. to say he had returned home safely. When we asked for a further comment on his abduction and his well-being, TAA's spokesperson Christina Koch simply said they would be issuing a formal statement, which up to news time we have not received. When we spoke to Koch, she said that they were looking after his health. Canty went missing on Monday afternoon after sending a disturbing voice message to a group chat containing Indian Creek villagers. This reported abduction comes after Canty's distribution of illegitimate land certificates for the highly controversial tract of land near the Bowden Creek. And while Canty was missing, the chairman of the village, Domingo Chuck, along with the deputy alcalde and 3 other men, were picked up by police. According to Chuck, the police told him it was for his safety, and that's after a mob of villagers showed up at his home with stones, slingshots, and machetes. However, when he got to the police station, he said he was treated like a criminal. Chuck spoke with us via Zoom this afternoon.
I'm concerned with the police department. Did not show me any safety regards. Instead of I was criminally treated and my right was violated. I wanted to make a record. I have absolutely no idea about it. No, with all the serious allegation and defamation, I will seek legal advice, because my family was extremely traumatized with all the vandalizing, terrorizing that they face at my residence. With all the proof of innocent that we show them, that we show the authority, the police, so they released us yesterday evening, and then all of us work, and then Mr. Anselmo Cholom was questioned. His employer was called to inform, was called, and then his employer told the police that he was present at his workplace, no? And then the rest of the person who were detained also have proof to show that they were at work. So that's why they release us. On the news, I have read that he was found safe, alive, and well. And I thank God for that.
I know the village is divided, so you have persons who side with the alcalde and persons who don't. What would be your message as the chairman to the villagers if indeed they had planned this abduction?
Courtney, to be honest, on the role and the responsibility that I carried, I don't advise anything that way to lead us on doing such thing. You know? And then that's why I always advise my council, whenever we have a public meeting, we always stay calm and we focus on development. And that's what it leads us on where we are.
And a press release from a new group named the Toledo Private and Lease Landowners state that while they're relieved to learn Canty is safe, they also find the media interviews and social media posts by those representing the MLA, the TAA, and the JCS irresponsible. The release says that these, quote, appear deliberately aimed at inciting panic and violence within the community, recklessly tarnishing Belize's international reputation by falsely framing the nation as unsafe for indigenous leaders is entirely unacceptable, end quote. They added that these organizations must acknowledge that not all Belizeans share their aspiration of collective land ownership. The TPLL added, quote, these organizations cannot publicly claim that private and leasehold lands must be respected while simultaneously justifying the unauthorized surveying and issuing of land certificates on those very properties, end quote. The release continued by putting the responsibility of implementing the CCJ consent order on the government, blaming them for what they call an escalating crisis. And this evening, the Sarstoon Temash Institute for Indigenous Management called on the government to, quote, fulfill its legal duty to consult the Maya communities in southern Belize on the development of the Maya customary land tenure legislation. They say, quote, a Maya land tenure policy was drafted without the input of Maya communities. That third-party landowners have had access to the draft legislation, while Maya communities have yet to be consulted, speaks volumes about the deep imbalance of power that continues to define this process, end quote. After the break, how does chicken get from the poultry plant to your plate? We'll take you inside the major industrial operation that makes it happen. Don't go away.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Hello, I am Roy Reyes, owner of Fina Purified Water Corozal Tong. I am the proud owner of 3 jack trucks. These trucks are very reliable, spacious, fuel efficient, and I would advise any business owner, try Jack. You'll be very satisfied with their performance.
Smart for everybody. Smart leading everything. Smart give you everything. Smart offer everything. Smart give you everything. North to the east and the south and the west. Smart are the best. Darling, double up my data and give me all the text. In fact, give me a plan for my family. Unlimited calls so me like it. And Smart make everybody feel happy. Bringing people together, me want it now. Smart got love for everybody. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. More bundles, data plan. Me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Call me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Smart. Stay connected. Stay happy.
The NEBL season is shaping up to have a monster finish. And this weekend, it's the rematch revenge weekend. On Friday night in Orange Walk at the Sporting Complex, the red-hot Belize City Defenders is coming for revenge against the bad boys from the north, the Orange Walk Running Rebels. After that beatdown on opening night, then on Saturday night, the Corazal Spartans seek revenge against the Belmopan Trojans and get their first win at the Anjo Campos Stadium. And in Cayo, the Cayo Gunners, the Western Ballers, awaits the number one team in the league, the San Pedro Tiger Sharks, in an all-out war as they seek revenge from their opening night loss at the Victor Galvez Stadium. Giveaways at all games, the NEBL Girls hosted by DJ Dollar and the National Sports Council $5,000 halftime shooting challenge. So this weekend, make it an NEBL rematch revenge weekend, sponsored by the government of Belize.
The success of my business means a lot to my family, especially my brother, because I'm continuing his legacy, making butterfly art collages. It was very hard for me to receive payments. I had to go directly to meet the person I'm purchasing from and who I'm selling to receive payment. Because I opened my business account with Atlantic Bank, now I can make and receive payments online, and this has made my job much easier.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Hey Belize! Our country is known worldwide for its natural beauty, from our barrier reef to our rainforest. But there's a growing threat to our paradise. Global plastic production has skyrocketed to 400 million tons per year, and without action, plastic waste flowing into our waters will nearly triple by 2040, from around 11 million tons in 2016 to around 29 million tons in 2040. Here at home, the situation is just as concerning. In 2024 alone, Belize imported over 13.3 million plastics and over 12 million plastic lids and caps. What might seem like just one plastic bottle or one chips bag adds up quickly. During our National Cleanup Day, almost 26,000 plastic bottles were collected, and that's just one day of effort. But here's the good news. We can all be part of the solution. Use waste bins, keep a litter bag in your car, Wait until you find a proper disposal site. These simple actions make a real difference. Join us in keeping Belize clean. Our Belize, our responsibility. Bini.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
A Town Called Freedom and Mars Production present an event you can't afford to miss.
It's the Belize Music World Festival, Saturday, April 25th, 2026.
At the spacious Marion Jones Stadium. This annual event is geared to give you the very best in music, food, and artistry.
The Belize Music World Festival.
Headlines with two of Reggae World's very best performers. The one and only Mr. Singy himself.
Taurus Riley.
With the very first time in Belize, Reggae Prince of Reggae Royal Family,
Skip Marley.
I just wanna be close to you. With his band. And also featuring on this momentous event is Pen Cayetano with his band. And Jay Cass with his band. Yes, Belize, it's a full-on band show. Also backing up this show is DJ Jago, DJ Console, DJ Cad, DJ Smurf, and Clark, and Rasen Jaro. Firestarter Sound. It's all hosted by DJ Dollar. So mark the date and don't be late. April 25th. Gates open at 7 for showtime at 8 at the Marion Jones Stadium. Ticket prices are bleachers, $41. General admission, $61. VIP, $151. Ultra Boost, $2,500. Also available. Cocktail tables for VIP area only. Sponsors are A Town Called Freedom, Mars Production, Monisco, Pelican, Travelers Liquor, BTV, Niche, Channel 5, Channel 7, Love FM, and Love TV, Trim Radio and TV, and Cellular World.
Look here, your kitchen light there and you been in the kitchen. Mama going back in there right now. And the coffee maker?
Just to try keep me the coffee warm for later.
Where did you know?
I'll try to think about what to eat.
You know the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool.
Uh-huh.
For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You to charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC, they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Two teenage boys went out fishing last week, but neither of them returned home. The family of 19-year-old Jahil Westby found their loved one murdered the following day and have been grieving since. But Alwyn Marin's relatives still cannot find the 17-year-old, and they believe he has been killed. We spoke with his mother this morning while she was out searching for him in the area where Westby was found. Jo Marie Lanza has this story.
A mother with a heavy heart, yearning for closure, searching high and low for her only son since last week Thursday. This is Patricia Cardenas' reality, and we met her here today on the fringes of Port Loyola, accompanied by a handful of relatives and 2 policemen. On Thursday, 17-year-old Alwyn Marin came back here to fish with his friend, 19-year-old Jahil Westby, who was found last week Friday with gunshot wounds. Now Cardenas fears that her son may have met the same fate.
I search for my son. But I just want to find my son because my son missing too long now. And I know my son, when time my son go, usually come back. So I don't know, I just want to find my son for put on to rest. Then I won't feel okay with that. But
when last you see your son?
I see my son the Tuesday, I see my son. The Tuesday I see my son, but my son me gone fishing, yes. My son me gone fishing, then me come home back that boy gone. But from when he gone, he never returned back.
You don't know who he may gone with?
Well, the Lee boy, the same Lee boy, where 2 of them missing together, the 2 of them gone together. But I don't know. I don't know what else. I'm feeling weird, you know why? Because 2 of them are friends and 2 of them gone together. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't know if it say. It hurt me though, because I want to find my son right now. And I'm standing here. I need to find my son. I don't want to give up till I find my son. I need to put my son to rest. That's my oldest son. My son's birthday is on the 23rd, if it be 23rd of April, right here, he's 18 years old. And it really hurt. I want to try to find my son before his birthday done, because this son, I don't know. He puzzling bad.
And even if police are still nowhere closer to finding Westby's killer, Alwyn's mother is carrying a heavier burden, not knowing where her son is and refusing to rest until he is found.
My son used to like play football. Cut yard, he build house, everything. My son, I mean, a lively boy. I used to always go and smile on my face. Always go and smile on my face. But I just want to find my son. It hurt me in my heart right now, standing here. When I God give me strength, I go stand strong, I go find my loved one, put my loved one to rest.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
If anyone wishes to assist Cardenas and her family in their search efforts, she can be contacted at 605-8356. That's 605-8356. Almost a week after MOHW confirmed that it was enforcing its prescription regulations for contraceptives, the Pharmacy Association issued a press release. It notes that there will be a 12-month phased implementation for the enforcement on general prescription medicines. According to the release, during this period, pharmacists will continue to dispense non-communicable disease medicines to known patients who previously had a valid prescription. The same goes for contraceptives, meaning you cannot walk into a pharmacy and purchase one over the counter unless you already had a prescription, which still presents a barrier to access. This phased-in approach does not apply to antibiotics or controlled substances, which continue to require a valid prescription in every instance. Pharmacists are also not permitted to initiate contraceptive therapy. However, the Pharmacists Association of Belize has submitted a formal oral contraceptive dispensing protocol proposal to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, which is currently under review. MOHW, the Drug Inspectorate Unit, the Pharmacy Unit, and the Pharmacists Association of Belize will now undertake a coordinated public education and media campaign during the transition period. Belizeans consume more chicken per person than almost any other country in the Western Hemisphere. Based on 2021 figures, Belize's poultry industry contributes $123 million annually. So, in this town, poultry is king, and that's why so many were upset recently when producers increased the price on a 50-pound crate of chicken by 6 cents. They say that's owing to the cost of labor and infrastructure development. Jaleesa Roberts went to Spanish Lookout last Friday to see what the development is about.
We all know how chicken looks when it reaches our plates, but the process begins long before that, starting at the hatchery level where eggs are incubated in strictly controlled conditions. When visiting the hatchery, it certainly wasn't just a casual walkthrough. First, we had to sanitize, shower, and then don the standard scrubs and footwear. Rare and uncomfortable, of course, for a first-timer, but this is what employees must do daily. Since we're done showering and disinfecting, we will now go through the entire factory to see how these go from eggs to chicks to chickens that eventually end up on your tables. General Manager of the hatchery, Edward Dweck, explained why the cleansing process is a new health protocol, especially because Belize now hatches breeder chickens instead of importing them.
The reason for us to implement this new change is because we have been bringing in a new breed, bringing in the breed of breeder chicks that we hatch here now. And so we needed to raise the biosecurity levels for that security. Up until now, those birds would have been flown in as live baby chicks day old. And so now we're able to implement that hatching here. And so for that reason, we decided it was time to raise the bar.
With new hatchery systems now in place, they are taking a leap from older infrastructure and using advanced technology to regulate temperature, humidity, and timing to ensure stronger, more uniform chicks at birth. This early stage control is critical because it determines the overall health and growth potential of the birds.
This is called the traying room. This is where the eggs are received upon arrival. They will all come in from the AC-controlled trailers. Eggs are temperature controlled at the farm during transportation and received into this cold room immediately, so that we will have no temperature changes throughout their cycle. Then next we went into the incubation room, which is the eggs are stored in there from 18, 19 days. And then we just looked into the transfer room where they transfer the eggs from the incubator trolleys into the baskets, which is we're now standing in front of the hatchers. And as you can witness through this window, you see the eggs are in white baskets. The reason for the baskets is so that the baby chick will, once it hatches, it'll not be able to jump out, but it'll stay safe until we pull it out. And as you notice, it's again the same program that you see on the screen here. We're carefully monitoring the temperature, humidity, CO2, airflow, and eggshell temperature. And we're having an electronic gadget in here that will actually monitor activity in the hatcher and communicate that to the computer.
The machinery used is temperature controlled and moves every hour to mimic the motion of the mother hen shifting her eggs around. And within a 9-hour period on the 21st day, all chicks are hatched with some popping out earlier.
We need to reach 21 days full. So there's already there's some chicks starting to incubate already. As you will see in here, I'll open up for a short while. And as you can tell, because we have light on, they come and migrate towards the front.
And this is when the journey of the chicks begins. Listening closely, you hear the peeps as they make their way into the world.
Tomorrow, 6 in the morning, these will be ready to be removed. They're taken to and sorted through, male, female selected. The first chick, you see a little bit moist feathering on here, right in the corner. Right now, there's probably 1,000 chicks coming out of these 64,000 eggs that are right here in these 3 machines. They are starting to incubate.
From incubation, chicks are transported to farms, where the industry is undergoing one of its most visible transformations. Traditional open-sided poultry houses, once standard across Belize, are being replaced by fully enclosed, climate-controlled barns. According to Kendall Reimer of Reimer's Feed Mill, these tunnel-ventilated structures maintain stable internal temperatures even during heat, reducing stress on the birds and improving survival rates.
Things that we're looking at from the equipment side, we're ensuring that we have the right temperature, we have the right environment for the chick, the humidity is not too high, so that the chicks can really be happy, have a happy life, that they're not stressing themselves out with the heat. Like you see right now, temperatures are outside of like 100 Fahrenheit, but inside the barn, we're talking about 78, 80 degrees, about a 20 degrees difference right now in the barn. A barn that has already 3-week-old chicks, those we would see like a 12 degrees difference from outside to inside of the barn.
And in the controlled environment, the birds go from chicks to full-size chickens, suitable for slaughter.
So typically we're aiming for a 5-pound chicken. However, there's what we call the extra large as well. And so the extra large, they're going to 8 pounds, roughly around 8 pounds, and those would go up to 49 days. 35 to 49 days is more or less the range that you get a 5-pound to 8-pound to an 8-pound chicken.
But these state-of-the-art barns come at a pretty penny. This one costs $500,000, but for a far greater yield.
We can put approximately double the amount of birds per square foot or per square meter in, so we can put a lot of more chicken into this barn comparing to an open-sided barn.
Once birds reach the appropriate weight, they are transported to processing facilities such as Quality Poultry Products, where operations run at an industrial scale. General Manager Raymond Bartman explained that chickens are first chilled to strict temperature standards before moving along processing lines. There, each bird is inspected, with any that do not meet quality requirements removed from the system.
So what you're just witnessing is the processing plant where we bag, we cut, where the chicken cuts, the leg, the breast, where everything is bagged. So pretty standard, I guess. So when the chicken comes out, it's actually ready at 32. And then it goes through a selection process. If you notice, there was 6 unloading tables. And then there's also quality control. Any chicken that doesn't look perfect gets taken off the chain and into another department. Then what we do is about half of the chicken gets cut up in parts from the leg, breast, wing. And so that's another department where we saw them cutting it up. There it gets divided, separated, and then put in trays or bags to bring it to the retail market.
What's the best-selling product that you guys have?
The best-selling product is still as a whole, the whole chicken, but there is the chicken cuts would be the next big seller. And of course, we can't forget the neck and back.
Really? Talk to us about that, the neck and back factor.
Well, the neck and back is so good for the soup. I mean, look, I love it as well. So if you want a nice soup, everybody loves neck and back in Belize, right? And that is a big seller.
Maintaining these operations requires a large-scale and specialized workforce. Quality Poultry Products employs over 600 persons nationwide, supported by in-house technicians. In this plant that we visited, there were over 225 employees. But just like the incubator and the farms where the chickens grow, the company also had to upgrade its packaging to meet consumer expectations.
Well, see this new packaging machine, we were getting reports that the trays are bloody, that they're sticky, or they want to stick to each other. This machine completely seals it off completely. There's the packaging stays clean. It's just like you don't have to dirty up your car anymore. If you buy our package, it stays clean. You don't have to worry about wiping off blood or anything later or anything like that.
And they recently celebrated 50 years of business in Belize. But Parkman believes that the poultry industry isn't going anywhere. And on average, each Belizean eats about 110 pounds of chicken per year, which is among the highest in the world.
We all love chicken in Belize. Chicken, I believe, as you know, since 50 years, they started from almost nothing to this, as you can see. And I don't see that stopping anytime soon. I believe chicken is worldwide. The chicken markets are growing. Chicken is increasing. Everybody likes more chicken than before. So the future, I believe, looks really good for chicken.
As Belize continues to rely heavily on poultry as a primary source of affordable protein, this drive to modernization hopes to ensure that chicken is going to continue to be what's dinner and tea on Belizean tables. Delisa Roberts, 7 News.
Tomorrow we'll look at the specific factors that led to the recent price increase. And after the break, Caricom Secretary General Carla Barnett is in deep water. One of the region's veteran diplomats says she should stand down. And 0-60 in 5 seconds. We'll go for a high-speed test drive at Belize's newest car dealership, the electric and hybrid BYD vehicles. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Over the past 5 years, Digi has invested more than $17 million to revolutionize Belize's digital future. Our advanced 4G LTE network and expanded fiber infrastructure have empowered vital road arteries, connected the farthest valleys and fertile farmlands, linked the bustling cities to the remote keys, and brought cutting-edge connectivity to schools, businesses, healthcare centers, and tourist destinations, fueling economic growth, enhancing education, and strengthening communities across the nation. By choosing Digi, you're leading Belize's digital transformation, bridging distances, opening opportunities, and empowering every corner of our beautiful country. Connect with Digi. Empower Belize.
People don't travel with cash anymore. People would stop and they want to do a coffee tour, they want to buy coffee, but people don't have cash with them. Online banking facilitated a lot of what we do. I don't have to run to town and I have to use fuel and other expenses. Atlantic Bank actually approached us. They facilitated us with a bank account, which is something that we didn't have in hand, and then with a POS machine. I sit and sip my good cup of coffee and do payments.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
The NEBL season is shaping up to have a monster finish. And this weekend, it's the rematch revenge weekend. On Friday night in Orange Walk at the Sporting Complex, the red-hot Belize City Defenders is coming for revenge against the bad boys from the north, the Orange Walk Running Rebels. After that beatdown on opening night, then on Saturday night, the Corozal Spartans seek revenge against the Belmopan Trojans and get their first win at the Angel Campus Stadium. And in Cayo, the Cayo Gunners, the Western Ballers, awaits the #1 team in the league, the San Pedro Tiger Sharks, in an all-out war as they seek revenge from their opening night loss at the Victor Galvez Stadium. Giveaways at all games. The NEBL Girls, hosted by DJ Dollar, and the National Sports Council, $5,000 halftime shooting challenge. So this weekend, make it an NEBL rematch revenge weekend, sponsored by the Government of Belize.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala Prasad Bissessar, continues her scorched earth campaign against Caricom Secretary General Belize's Dr. Carla Barnett. In a post made just this afternoon, she seemed to refer to Barnett's reappointment as a, quote, a corrupt backroom operation that rots the organization to the detriment of Caribbean people. She adds, quote, the leadership at Caricom, particularly at the Secretariat, is dysfunctional, dishonest, and incompetent. This matter will continue to be ruthlessly and relentlessly publicly escalated and prosecuted until persons are held accountable for their odious, harsh words. And one distinguished Antiguan and Barbudan diplomat, academic, and author Sir Ronald Saunders told the country's ABS News that he thinks Dr. Barnett should resign.
If I were the Secretary General of Caricom, and I'm being quite serious here, and this had occurred, I would have resigned. And I would have resigned because I would have said I must not stand in the way of Caribbean integration and the movement forward. And it is clear to me that a senior government and Prime Minister is not in favor of my appointment. Why am I still there? Because it is clear that I will never enjoy her support. And why, therefore, would I put myself in a situation in which I am now the cause of the rift? If I were Carla Barnett, I would resign now, on principle, because she will never have, Kamala Prasad Bissessar will not attend the meeting if Carla Barnett is at that meeting. Neither will her foreign minister. And I suspect none of our ministers will attend either.
Secretary General Barnett is currently participating in the Forum of the Countries of Latin America and the Caribbean on Sustainable Development in Santiago, Chile. Over the years, we've been known to take a few spins in the fancy new rides imported by car dealers with all the latest tech. Today, though, we went for a different kind of ride in a Chinese-made BYD vehicle. And that's short for Build Your Dream. Jules Vasquez found out what all the fuss is about.
BYD is one of the world's leading automakers, but they manufacture only electric and hybrid vehicles. And now they have established a dealership in Belize.
This is almost 2-3 years in the making to have this vehicle rolling around in Belize right now.
You'll find them at the Design Depot on the Philip Goldson Highway.
Well, this is a fundamental shift in the way that we think about transportation, where we go and fuel up with gas or diesel, and then that powers our internal combustion engine that then moves our transmission. This is completely different. With BYD coming in, the technology that the vehicle offers is actually coming in at a very competitive rate. Like, we have a vehicle in the lineup, brand new, starting at $59,900, right? That's actually cheaper than a lot of used cars that are coming in now.
Marin says that with gas prices soaring to record highs worldwide, the cost-benefit proposition is what he believes will sell this vehicle. Because when you look under the hood, you'll find a battery, not an engine.
People want something that would be able to, insulate themselves from gas going to $20 a gallon, and that's with the plug-in hybrid, right? You can plug this vehicle in and charge it. To charge this vehicle, for example, we did a test and it cost us $9.60.
For a full charge?
For a full charge.
That drives how many miles?
And that would have driven like around 200 and something miles. And, for the same kind of range on a regular gas vehicle, you're looking at around $200. And so in fuel, in gasoline, right? So it's substantially cheaper.
Substantially cheaper, but that too has been the knock on Chinese-made vehicles, that they're cheap.
Chinese vehicles in Belize do not have a strong reputation for durability, like, for example, a Toyota or an Isuzu.
Right.
How does BYD hope to overcome that stigma?
This is a premium product. There's no doubt. There's nothing about this vehicle that says this is a low quality product. You have a high definition screen in front of you. You have the latest technology. This has lane keep assist. This has pre-collision system, nice leather seats. This is something that was kind of reserved away from us. You couldn't buy this vehicle on your own.
And at a price tag of $140,000 on the flagship Blade pickup, many still can't buy this vehicle, but what a ride. With a boxy design, it may not turn heads, but it sure is fast.
You're gonna be at 50 miles an hour in seconds with very little effort, without having to wait for the engine to rev up and the transmission to change gears. And so you can accelerate very quickly. Some would say like sports car level.
Indeed, 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. Simply amazing for a vehicle of this weight.
Wow, wow, wow. Woo! That scrambled your eggs.
For your safety, please fasten the seat belt.
It is a hybrid pickup with an engine just to charge the battery.
This has both an engine and electric motors to go along with the battery. So this is more of an EV, but with the range extending engine, you could drive virtually anywhere.
The interface is sleek and modern, and with everything you would expect in a 2027 model. The experience can be slightly disorienting when the gear shift is a little dial, no bigger than a volume knob. But there's far less spent on servicing because there are so few moving parts. And while you may have doubts about the suspension in a Chinese-made vehicle on these roads, Marin says they are built for this market.
One of the things that I really like about working with a manufacturer like BYD is that they consider when they're manufacturing the vehicle that is going to come to Belize. So whatever that entails on the factory line, with a better, more rugged suspension, with more anti-corrosion elements going into the vehicle, those are all considerations made when the vehicle is coming through the factory floor, right?
Marin says they will build a fully outfitted BYD dealership building in the Design Depot lot. Since the public furor erupted about the requirement for prescriptions on contraceptives, several civil society groups have opposed the enforcement of the regulations. The NTUCB is one of them. They released a press statement yesterday saying this archaic legislation needs to be immediately revised. This proposal represents a significant step backward in advancing women's rights and autonomy. It directly undermines a woman's liberty to make decisions about her own body and reproductive health. In a Zoom interview today, NTUCB President Ella Wade spoke about how this will affect the schedules of working women finding the time to make an appointment whenever they need to purchase contraceptives.
We do find it very concerning. We feel that it is an archaic legislation, and I agree. If it is the case that it was already part of the law of Belize, it was not being applied. So women were going to the pharmacist to get their contraceptive, whichever the method they chose. Now to say that, okay, firstly that if it's you're just going to begin to use this form of medication, whether it be the pills or whatever for contraceptives, it's your first time, you would have to consult a doctor. That I think to an extent we could understand that point. But what will happen now, because I'm sure many people have lost their prescriptions that they have had maybe for 6 months or even a year. So they will in turn, even though they have been using whatever, let's say, for example, birth control for the past 6 months to a year, they will still have to go back to the doctor. So that even that explanation will not simply apply the way they would want it to. It will have to be applied to those persons who are already on those medications. And for us, the concern is who will allow these women to take the time off from work to do this. That's our issue.
Wade also spoke about the Belize Energy workers and their struggle to get their severance payments from BEL. Wade told us what they did when they found themselves in a similar situation.
All affiliate unions understand the decision from the CCJ. They understand the clarification, which is obviously severance is different from pension. And severance cannot be subsumed to replace, pension cannot be substituted to replace severance. I can give you one instance where, as an individual, I knew of this issue happening some years ago because the same change came to the Social Security Board via the management at that time, where they wanted to subsume our severance through the pension. And we were in our collective bargaining agreement, severance is paid as per the labor law. That is stated in our CBA. So when they brought up this this change that they wanted to apply, we went and we sought out legal advice. And the legal advice we got was it is totally different. Do not allow that to happen. And thankfully, the former chief at that time, she had a legal document from two senior attorneys that they had, which they had for like a decade before, saying the same thing. Severance is different from pension. So we told them we have legal advice that it is different, and we will not allow this to happen at SSB. Sending this letter to all of those unions, ensure that someone somewhere must capture the importance of this letter and push our recommendations to the Labor Department.
And that's all we have for you on our newscast tonight. Thanks for watching with your news. I am Indra Craig. You remember you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a great night. And join me back here tomorrow at 6.